All right, everybody. For this week's defense, we're going to start off with working our approach to the baseball. So I've got a few balls lined up here, and we'll actually move the camera around so you can see the drill itself. But I just wanted to show this angle first because I wanted to show you the spacing between the balls. What we'll be doing is we'll be starting behind these balls, working around to come down the field, and you want to make sure you have enough distance between the two. So if I'm marking these off with my feet, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3.5, 4 strides, okay? Small strides. So you want to make sure you have the right distance. Now, before we switch to camera view and actually show you what's going to be happening, we're working on two things here. We're working on our approach to the ball, and we're also working on getting to the proper fielding position, similar to something that we did in last week's video. But be sure that when the player gets down the field, because this is how they're going to end up, when they get down the field, they're in this good fielding position. Butt down, hands out in front. We don't want to see players, you don't want your player to end here where they're over top of the baseball. So when they come around down the field, they're going to come around, down, and field. Make sure their butt's down and hands are out. Okay, so real important that your players get to that position. All right, everybody. So this got 4 balls lined up, and we're going to be coming at the camera. So we've got our four balls lined up, and we're working on approach to a ground ball right at us. So what the player is going to do is they're going to start right behind this first ball. It's important they start behind it, so the ball lined up with their belly button. Sometimes we do this with players, they'll tend to try to cheat, so they're going to stand a little bit over. Have them start behind the ball. Good starting position. They're going to come around, down, and field. Once they get to that fielding position, they'll go up. Now they can start at this one. Around, down, and field. Okay? And we got balls laid down here. If you don't have balls, no big deal. You don't need them. Any stationary object would do. You can put a toy, video game, whatever. Any object that can be a reference point for a ground ball. Okay, so Jonathan's going to run through this. Jonathan, why don't you get set up? Okay. So now, if parents, or if you're going to be with the kids, you can say go. If they're going to be by themselves, they can just go when they want. Okay, but make sure you keep it at a good pace. Okay, so we'll do this. Jonathan will run through it. I'll say go, just so you can understand the pace that we want to keep these kids moving. All right, ready? Go. Up. Okay, make sure you don't get too wide at your finish. Okay, his feet were too wide at that finish. Okay, ready? Go. Good. Up. One more. Now notice the choppiness in his feet. Okay, can you stand off to the side? If you saw his first one, he took a big sweeping first step with his left foot. When we go, we want to take short, choppy steps around, down, and field. Okay? Go ahead, Jonathan, last one. Short, choppy steps. Don't get too wide at the finish. Ready? Go. Good. Excellent. Relax. Okay, now, purpose of this drill is really, when we're feeling the ground ball at us, we really want to get our body weight and momentum going towards first base when we field. We don't want to attack balls straight on because now our body weight's going to home. Then we're going to have to adjust and get our weight going to first. What this does is it forces the infielder to come down in a way so that their body momentum, their body weight's feeling the ball, and now we're going off to first base to throw. Okay? So the reason why we want to go around this first object is just so we can get our momentum going in a way so that after we field, it's easy to go through to first base. All right, now for this next drill, another drill to work on the approach to the ground ball. And a lot of you kids are probably familiar with these drills because we've done these in the past. But another drill for us is the zigzag approach. So notice the setup of these wiffle balls. The player is going to start behind one ball here, and they're going to run to field, pretend like they're fielding the ball to their right. So they're going to start here, and then they're going to come to this spot to come down and field. And again, we want to get in a position where our butt's down, hands are out, We're not getting over top of the ball. Okay, one thing you want to look for here too is we don't want the players to be shuffling to the ball. We want them to start in a good ready position. We're going to turn the hips, choppy steps, come down. Now we're going to go to that next ball. We're here, turn the hips, choppy steps, come down to field. Okay, so we'll adjust the angle to show you from the front side, but we just wanted to show from the side here just so you can see how we have this set up. And so from the front side, this is what it looks like. We've got 6 balls laid out here. Jonathan, go ahead and start on this side. So Jonathan will start here facing forward, and when I say go, he's just going to go here, get in that good fielding position. I'll say up, nice and relax, and go. It's not a speed drill. We're not trying to get through these 6 as fast as possible. All right, ready, Jonathan? Go. Good. Up. Ready? Go. Good. One more. Up. Ready? Go. Good. Relax. Okay, and then he would finish off. There's no set number of balls that you need out here. He went through 4. We got 6 lined up. He can go through all 6 if he likes. But again, the purpose is approaching balls to our right, getting into that good fielding position like he did, and then approaching balls to our left, coming down and getting in that good fielding position like he did. Okay, so good job, Jonathan. And, that's working on our approach to the baseball. All right, everybody. Next drill that we've got, we're back to our original, or our first drill that we did, which is around down the field. But now we're going to add the footwork to throw into this. So we simply have 2 balls here. That's all we need. And if you can see on the side of the garage here, I've got a blue piece of tape. That'll be our reference point to first base. So, MC ball, Jonathan. So Jonathan has his glove on. He'll have a ball in his glove. What he'll do is he'll start with the ball in his glove. He's going to go around, down to field, then right, left to throw. Okay, to throw the ball to first base. Obviously, he's not going to throw this hard baseball against our garage. We're really just focused on the feet. We got to make sure that when we come around down the field, our next steps are right, left to throw. And when he finishes, he wants to make sure his right foot and left foot are going in line to that piece of tape. Here we go, John. Ready? Ball starts in the glove. Go. Good. Now, one thing you want to make sure of, and he did this, we don't want to fly through it. We don't want to come down and be flying through. We've got to make sure that we come down, get in that good fielding position, field the ball, then go. Too many young kids are in a hurry. They want to go before they even field the ball. So let's make sure that we get down first, field, and then we go. Okay, a little bit slower transition. Ball and glove, go. That was it, perfect, okay? Have that slower transition. We don't want to run past the ball. Okay, now, first baseman. And Jonathan is a first baseman. So when first basemen are doing this, left-handers, we still want to go around the ball this way, because when you field the ball, you're essentially going to be fielding this ball and either flipping or running to first. So what you can do is you can come around down the field and then pretend like you're running over to tag first base or step on first. Okay? So just because you saw Jonathan take an approach from like a second baseman or a shortstop or a third baseman, this drill is for first baseman as well. Just instead of using your feet to throw, use your feet to wander over to first base. All right, everybody, next drill, very similar to the last one we did, but now we're going to our right and we'll be going to our left. So what we'll do is we'll start behind this ball here. We've got our tape on the side of the garage. We'll have a ball in your glove. You'll come to this ball here, field, right, left. Pretend that you're throwing the ball over to that tape. First baseman. This is where you'll probably want to flip the ball. So you're coming to your right first baseman, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. You're going to field, hopefully that pitcher's paying attention, they're covering first. You're going to field, and then you're going to work through your flips like we showed last week, okay? So you start here for other infielders. come down, field, right, left to throw. Then what you can do is we can mix the spots up. You move these cones. Now you can start here. We come down the field, 1, 2, and throw. Okay? Here you go, Jonathan. I'll reset. All right, so Jonathan will start here. Okay, ready? Go. Good, excellent, good. Make sure you get to a good power position to throw. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll switch spots. We'll get Jonathan going from right to left. Go ahead, ready, go. Okay, he did not hit his transition, okay? He came here and he flew past the spot. Got to make sure, kids, when we get to the spot, we hit and then we go. Okay, try that again, please. Here we go, ready? Go. Good, excellent. That's exactly what we want to see. We've got to hit that spot. Too many players, too many infielders will fly through and they'll field too many balls off their right side. They're not balanced. Chances are you're going to miss the ball. All right, everybody, next drill. As basic as you can get. This was something that, I always hate saying this, but when I was a kid, I'd be doing this all the time in the backyard, up at the playground. Just taking a ball, your glove, and throwing pop-ups to yourself. If there's one skill that I think the youth are real poor at today, it's catching pop-ups. It's pretty bad. And I think it's just because kids don't work on it enough. So something very simple you can do at home. Take a ball, take your glove. You just stand over to the side a little bit. You're just going to take your ball, take your glove, and nice and easy. Doesn't have to be high. Okay? Up, get under it, and catch. Now, the technique to catch a pop-up. Glove up. You want to catch here. We don't want to see basket catching. Glove up. And when you catch, we do not want to see the bare hand squeezing the back of the glove. I see too many young kids doing that. I don't see how that helps at all. Okay? When you're going to catch a pop-up, if you can catch it with two hands, you want that bare hand to wrap in front. Keep it to the side. Ball gets in glove, wrap it in front. Do not catch with that bare hand behind that glove. Okay, I see way too many kids doing that. So nice and easy, up in the air, get under it, and squeeze. All right, so catching pop-ups. You got to practice it. And for some kids, I know that you might be a little bit afraid of the baseball, especially for the younger kids. That's fine. Use a tennis ball. Use a wiffle ball. Use a rolled up pair of socks. Start with something that you're not going to be afraid of if it hits you, and then you gradually work yourself up. But you got to work on catching pop-ups. It's a skill that I think young kids just don't work on anymore, and it definitely shows in games. All right, everybody. Next drill is a throw-in drill. Now, ideally, you're working on the drills that we talked about in our session 1 video. Outside of that, I would really just play catch as much as possible. And in one of our future videos, we are going to walk you through the different things that you want to work on when playing catch. But go out and throw. Go out and play catch. Especially during times where, like now, where we're not able to get up the field and have team practices. Go out and throw. Go out and play catch. Now, let's say you don't have anybody to play catch with. What are you supposed to do? Real simple. I've got a piece of tape on the side of my garage. I've got a rolled up pair of socks. I'm going to be playing catch or actually just working on my throwing with that rolled up pair of socks. Okay, so I'm going to take my socks and that tape is my target. So all I'm going to do is I can work on my footwork, 1, 2, and throw into the siding. Okay, real simple. 1, 2, throw into the siding. I can do this all day long without worrying about whether or not I'm going to damage the side of the house. What this does is it gives me the opportunity to get reps in with my arm. Now, we don't have to worry about throwing hard. It's just how many reps can we get in throwing something like a rolled up pair of socks, which is acting as our baseball. Okay, so we got to get the reps in, because when it does come time to go out and actually play catch or throw, you've got a lot of reps in where you're doing the mechanics, where you're doing the throwing, which will potentially help you avoid any arm injury. Okay, and hopefully when you're doing this, you're getting the fluid arm, the elbow on top, and throwing. Okay, so just take that pair of socks and throw it against the siding. There's my target, and I can throw all day long. So there's no excuse why you can't be going out and throwing, even if it is just with a rolled up pair of socks. All right, everybody, moved inside the garage. Could have done this outside, I guess, against the siding, but a very simple drill that, again, all kids need to be working on. If you're serious about playing baseball, or semi-serious about playing baseball, you've got to learn how to catch. And just like I mentioned with pop-ups in the previous drill, catching a baseball is something that I think is a skill that our youth are really struggling with. Why? Because not enough kids go outside and play catch. So I've got my foam ball, plywood wall in the garage, and all I'm doing is throwing the ball against the wall and working on catching. This is a drill similar that we work with our catchers, but any position can do this, because there's not a position on the field where you don't have to catch a ball. Okay, so just throwing the ball against the wall, catching it. Hitting different spots, okay, working on catching it with the proper glove angle. So if I'm catching it off my left side, I'm getting my fingers pointing away. I'm not trying to backhand it here. Okay, catching the baseball. Notice that I am not holding my glove this way. This is a big problem you see with a lot of kids. They try to catch balls like this. You cannot let your kids catch a baseball like this. All right, most of the time, you're catching balls here. So we've got to make sure that kids are catching that way. We don't want to see this. We don't want to see that. The big reason why kids do that is, as an early age, as parents, we lob balls to them. And they're catching it like they're catching it in a basket, okay? We got to get away from that. All right, we got to get the kids elbows down here, okay? Elbows down here. And notice one thing I'm not doing, I'm not catching with two hands. Don't worry about catching with two hands. Catch with one hand, catch the ball in the web of the glove, top part of the glove. Okay, just throw that ball all day long against the wall. Work on catching the baseball. If you can catch, if you can throw, coaches will find a good spot for you on the field. All right, everybody. Next drill that we're going to work on is for tag plays. Okay, so as an infielder, whether I'm first, second, short, or third, I'm going to have to work on tagging the runner. Okay, so I've got a base here. I've got my foam ball, and you don't need a base. You can use a piece of paper, you can use a book, paper plate, whatever you have. Okay, so I've got my base here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that first base is here. Let's just say I'm a second baseman covering second on a steal. So I got first base here. I've got the catcher down there. So I'm going to get down low in my stance because I'm going to receive the ball low. I don't start high, I start low. It's easier to catch balls coming up than it is to catch balls coming down. So start low in your stance, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to be working on picks, okay? So I'm going to throw the ball against the wall, I'm going to pick the ball and tag. 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 Okay, if you need a break with your legs, stand up in between reps and tag. And tag. Okay, real simple. Okay, got to get used to it though, because it's going to happen in a game. Notice I'm straddling the base. You may want to stand in front of the base, especially at the younger level, because a lot of times catchers, when they're throwing the ball down, they don't have the arm strength to get it to second in the air. So you're going to catch the ball a little bit further out in front. Okay, but even if it picks, and then back to tag, and back to tag. Okay, so work on start in front, work on straddling the bag. If you're third baseman, same thing. If you're a first baseman, same thing. Pretend the catcher's down here. If I'm a lefty first baseman, I'll straddle the bag this way, tag down. If I'm a righty first baseman, I'll catch with my back to the runner and tag. Okay, now as first baseman, we're working on back picks. So if that runner gets hung up between first and second on a large secondary, we come over to first base and we back pick and we tag here because they're going to be sliding in. Okay, so every position can work on this play. And if you want to work on catching the ball in the air, move the base closer to your wall. Catch, tag. Catch, tag. Catch, tag. Catch, tag. Okay? Something you got to work on. Okay? Unfortunately, in practice, many coaches don't work on this. Then it happens in a game, players mess this up, and coaches wonder why kids don't do this correctly. They wonder why they're not very good at picking a ball. Well, because you never practice it. Okay? This is the perfect opportunity to work on your picks. Against the wall, stay low, tag. You do this all day long. All right, last drill for today is actually geared towards our first baseman. And again, just because you may not be a first baseman today, doesn't mean that you're not going to be a first baseman a year from now or 2 years from now. So even if you're not a first baseman, I'll still work on this. Because again, you never know where you're going to be playing 2, 3, 4 years down the road. So let's pretend this is first base and we're receiving the ball from the wall. As a first baseman, if I'm right-handed, my right foot's going to be on the base. If I'm left-handed, my left foot's going to be on the base. Now, because of space here, I don't have much space. Typically, as a first baseman, both feet are on the bag. Once we see where the ball's going, we step in that direction. Okay, we step in that direction. You don't step before you see where the ball's going. Because if I step here, over here, and the ball's over this way, now I'm reaching too far. Okay, let me do it facing the camera to get a better sense. Let's say the ball's coming right, let's say the person who's throwing the ball is right in front of me in the camera. I don't want to step too soon to that person because if the ball's way over here, now I'm doing this. I want to start 2 feet on the base. That ball's over there, I step there to catch it. Okay, always step to catch. But because of space here, we're going to start already in our stepping position. So we've already stepped. Now we're working on picks, first baseman. So you're going to throw the ball against the wall, let it bounce, and work on picks. As soon as you see that ball low, you get low and pick. Low and pick. You can work on the other side too. Low and pick. Low and pick. Again, pick. Okay? Just work on your picks. Foam ball, got myself a base, got myself a drywall. I can do this all day long. And again, it's one of those things where you're not going to practice this during practice, at least in most, I believe with most teams. You're not going to practice this. So you may as well work on this something at home because A, you can, and B, you should if you're going to want to be good at this during a game. Okay, so work on your picks here, foam ball, got a base, got my drywall, I'm good to go.